Welcome to this episode of BizJet TV. We're going to be talking about politicians using private jets, in particular the British Prime Minister who got attacked by the mainstream media the other day. So we're going to talk about that in this episode. Welcome to the channel if it's your first time, and if you've been on here often, welcome back again to BizJet TV. And if you haven't got yourself a copy of The Quantum Economy, get yourself a copy by clicking on the link below. My latest book just came out. Lots of interesting information here about business entrepreneurship and of course how the private jet is playing and will be playing a key role, and how you, if you're an entrepreneur, need to get yourself a private jet as soon as possible, or at least lease one, or maybe start chartering one. And I can help you with that. You can click and on my email and send me a message and we'll get on a call and see how we can help you here find the best private jet solution for you. Also, I encourage you to subscribe to my newsletter, Biz Aviation World. You can click on the link below, which will take you to that. You can subscribe, and also if you're interested, we will be running special offers inside there. If you've got a special offer that you'd like people to go for, you may be interested in doing a deal with the newsletter. So just click on my email and we can talk about that too. But anyway, let's see what's been happening here in England. Mr. Rishi Sunak, who's the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, was off to Scotland the other day, and he flew by private jet. And one journalist said to him, said, "How are you getting there?" And he said, I'm going to get there in the most efficient way possible," meaning he was travelling by private jet. Now, my criticism towards the Prime Minister is he should have said, "I'm flying private, and this is why I'm flying private," instead of trying to be a bit sneaky. Because at the end of the day, these journalists know what they're doing, and they immediately saw him jump on a private jet because the British government purchased 2 Falcon 900s recently to do these flights, as well as using an Airbus A330, which is operated by the Royal Air Force. The Royal Family use that aeroplane. It's a bit like the British version of Air Force One. So that's what's happening. Now, did Mr. Rishi Sunak do the right thing, flying private? I think he did. I think that's a good use of taxpayers' money. He's getting around efficiently. That's the first thing. And the other thing is also getting around safely. The last thing you want is your Prime Minister be flying around on a low-cost airline. And I know what goes on low-cost airlines, having flown as a pilot low-cost airlines. A number of people have had arrested. It's quite interesting. You're sitting on that airplane and you're doing, minding your own business, and then there's a guy 20 rows behind you that starts freaking out. You don't want any of that, especially if you're the Prime Minister. Prime Minister is paid by the people. The Prime Minister is there to run the country, and he or she needs to run the country in an efficient manner. Same like in the United States, where you have Air Force One. But the thing is, in America, people don't seem to complain that the President flies around on Air Force One. But here in England, they're complaining the Prime Minister's flying around on a private jet. It's exactly the same thing. Actually, Air Force One burns more fuel than a Falcon 900. And the President of the United States is always flying around with Air Force One. At least here, we're using a Falcon 900, which burns a lot less fuel than a 747. And then, on longer flights than that, or flights where there's more people on board, they're using an A330, which again is more fuel efficient than a 747. So, and I'm not trying to criticize you Americans out there, but that's different. But you see the approach. In America, the president's flying on a jumbo, and people are cool with it because they understand he's doing it because it protects him and because he gets around a lot quicker. So over here in England, we need to do the same thing. Let's be happy that the government are using these private jets to fly the Prime Minister around so he can get his job done properly, and he can get his job done efficiently, and also he can be safe. And those are the reasons, the same reasons the Prime Minister is using private jets is the same reasons why a business person would use a private jet. And I tell lots of stories in here in the Quantum Economy about the fact you can go to many more places. There are more runways out there available to land on if you have a private jet compared to an airline. This is another thing that a lot of people understand. They think that they're just all these main airports. With a private jet you can land probably closer to home or closer to where your meeting is. And if you're going into outback countries, you really want to get in quick and out quick. I mean, the former Prime Minister of the UK, Tony Blair, he flies around on private jets. And I talked about that when I was interviewed for Granada TV about his use of private jets. Now, he was a Labour Prime Minister, and usually Labour is kind of left. They're usually anti-private jet. But here he is today, now a businessman, flying around with a private jet. Why? Because he understands it's using his time effectively. And overall, in the long run, it costs you less money to use a private jet than to fly around with the airlines, because you are more effective. And that's what it's all about. It's about being effective, not working tons of hours, but getting more done in less time. And that's what the private jet does. It really is a time machine. So anyway, I'd like to hear your comments below. Let's get the conversation flowing here about politicians using private jets. Is it a good thing for them to do or not? And if you don't agree, that's fine. So give us a thumbs up, a thumbs down, whatever you want to do. But let's get the conversation going here. Remember to subscribe to BizJet TV. Get yourself a copy of The Quantum Economy by clicking on the link below. And also, there's another link below as well, which will take you to Biz Aviation World, my new newsletter, which is coming out now once a week. Lots of information on there. And so subscribe to that too. And check out this other video we did recently about the Beechcraft Denali Sky SUV. Very interesting airplane with the Garmin avionics. As you know, I'm a great fan of the Garmin avionics. And go and have a look at that airplane, because that's coming to the market soon. And I think it's going to be a game changer. And that's all from Fabrizio here on BizJet TV. And I'll see you on the next one.